Hey guys, Martin here, and a video response to 40kScribe. This is a channel, as with anything, link below to the channel. This is a Christmas giveaway, and a bit of a competition that's running for custom painted angry marine. I've seen these guys knocking about on the internet and everything. And I'll be honest, I'd like to own one. I'd probably never use it in a game, but to have one, it just adds into a collection to go onto the shelf, doesn't it? Which it would look good. When he's getting these professionally painted, the guys up there in Canada where he's based. No, sorry, not based in Canada. Sorry, mate, I might have that wrong. I do apologise. I think I might be thinking of Scarred Cast because I've just done a video at the same time. But anyway, the way to enter the competition is to explain what army you play and why you play it. So I sat and thought about this for nearly a week now. It's only a 2-week entrance for the competition. I was like, how do I go about that? Because I don't play one army, and I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat. I've got quite a few big armies that I play. So I've got my White Scars army, which is ultimately is a whole task force. There's a video in my library about that. It's like 8,500 points task force, but I predominantly play 1,500 point games, more so than anything. Like literally 99% of my games are 1,500 points. So the White Scars are about as good as I'm willing to get in an army. I'm not a fan of the good side of things. I grew up as a younger brother. Being the younger brother, I had no say so in when we played games as children. So I grew up, as many of you know, I'm a big Star Wars fan. I grew up collecting the Empire while my brother collected the Rebel Alliance. He-Man figures. I had Skeletor and his minions. He had He-Man and all the heroes of Eternia. I was Decepticons. He was the Autobots. I was Venom. He was Mask. I was Mum-Ra's guys, and in Turtles I was Shredder's guys, while he was Thundercats and he was the Turtles. Whenever we collected figures, Action Force, I was always the bad guys there. It kind of just always stuck with me. When I got into 40k in 1990, I think it was 91 maybe, I started with Advanced Hero Quest, well, Hero Quest, then into Advanced Hero Quest, and then went into Fantasy and collected, at the time the box set had just come out, the very first box set, which was Night Goblins versus High Elves, and I loved the Night Goblins, so I did them, did Skaven, did Chaos Dwarves, back then in the early 90s as well, before they were Forge World exclusive. I then moved into 40k when 2nd edition, as we know it, came out, and collected Khorne. So it was mixed Demons and Chaos Space Marines. Back then it wasn't two separate codexes. Had everything from Juggernauts of Khorne to Bloodthirsters and Beasts of Nurgle and all that. It was all the evil guys. I collected them. Out of the hobby for 20 years, back into it. And when I got back into it, bought Dark Vengeance, and sort of looked at them. What would I do? And I went straight for Dark Eldar, to be fair. Collected a big Dark Eldar army. Love it. I love the speed of the army. That's what I like. I'm a competitive player. And as you'll see in one of my future videos, I think there's 3 standards of play. You're either a fluffy player, you're a competitive player, or you're a cheesy player, which is win at all costs. I'd like to think I'm sat in the middle. I play to win, but at the same time, not at the expense of ruining a game. I'd sooner have a laugh than just win and turn up with an unbeatable army unless you're rolling bad dice. So yeah, that's that side of it. Got into Dark Eldar. I was then getting tempted by people to go into Marines, and I was like, I just don't like them, they're too good. And somebody mentioned White Scars to me, said they've got the speed and everything that the Dark Eldar have got, and they're not quite fully good. So Red Brotherhood of the Storm realised these guys they're almost mercenaries. They don't really know where they stand. And that's it. I started a White Scar army, then did a Tyranid alien themed army. White Scars then got buffed massively with the new codex, so I expanded on that. And then very similar to what Nick over at Idic Beer has put on his reason for Tyranids, I was pretty much handed a Tyranid army. I looked at this army and it was a slow foot slugging army at 6-inch movements, and I was sort of like, ooh, I don't know whether I can deal with that. But everybody had berated the new Tyranid Codex and said, oh, it's awful and they're being nerfed. I don't think any of these codexes have been nerfed. What they've done is they've brought them into balance. Grey Knights, they're just not as powerful as they used to be. They're still epic. And I looked at the Tyranid Codex, and because so many people were moaning about it, I said, right, I'm going to write an army that's not super cheesy, but can win games. So I wrote an army, built it up in 9 days, built and painted it up, sorry, in 9 days. That's a series of videos, played with it, and I'd say I'm on an 80% win ratio with that army. It's played about 15 games, and I must have won, I would say, a good 80% of them. It's how you choose to use your army. Just because they take away your Doom of Malantine and your Mycetic Spore doesn't mean your army is knackered. So I moved heavily into Tyranids, built that up. I'm also in the backlands and building up a huge Nurgle force. That's not so much for me competitive play, that's just because I love the conversion use of them. The army's competitive. I've got a 1500 point demon army, which is the most slow and laborious, boring army for me to play ever, because it's all slow and purposeful. Nothing can run. You deep strike and then hang around. But at the same time, you can have a bit of fun with it because it's demons. So that's why I did them. I'm back on with my Tyranids, but more than anything, back in with my Dark Eldar now. The new Codex has buffed them up a little bit with Reavers and so on and so forth. So as you'll have seen in videos, they're fast. So a bit of a long video response as to what army I play. I can't pin it to one. I play fast armies because that's what I like. I like the speed and manoeuvrability of an army. I play armies that have got a strong competitive edge without being overpowerful. Anybody who's watching this who's a Necron player, I don't mean any offence to it, but I'll never ever do a Necron army, because I think other than standard Eldar, they're one of the armies where it's just so easy to win with, because you're almost compelled to take those really strong units that are really unbeatable. And then people go throwing Transcendent Catans into the game, and that to me just ruins it. I've used Unbound List, I've used heavy Lords of War and things like that, but there's a time and a place. Anyway, I'm rambling on. We're at 7 minutes, 8 minutes even now for the video. It's a long response, but hopefully you see the worth in this response, mate, and well done with your channel. I've been watching a lot of it recently, and good stuff. So if you haven't already, then go and like and subscribe to 40kScribe. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to me, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.